Call. Yep. All right, we're recording. Order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Good. Moving right into any public comment. You want to speak to anything in particular, or no? You're a listener? Okay. Well, what we typically do is ask on the floor if anybody wants to speak first, and then we go to anybody maybe online. And I don't think anybody's online.
Anybody yet?
No. All right. So,
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. Favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, sorry.
So, all in favor?
I
All opposed? Okay, so moved.
slow there, okay.
So we approved the agenda, now consent agenda. Commissioners?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items, workshop on June 3rd, meeting minutes June 9th, workshop 26th, workshop minutes June 30th. And of course, the general fund, the water fund, and IDD. I don't need to read those,
You
do I?
know, if you're
Please.
gonna.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
My little pass around, you
So-
for signature.
Okay,
Okay.
Each one of these tabs is a signature page,
All right,
that's
three
fine.
of them.
yeah, when we do that, it's just, oh,
Okay,
we're good. Unless they're specific things that way.
sure.
Or the block. Oh, we're out of water. Oh. Oh,
No, that's fine.
Oh,
I don't-
really?
I don't-
you've taken one for the team. She obviously.
I don't usually, I don't do that.
Oh, you don't do that? You share?
No.
I'm kidding.
I'm trying to stay with you.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. Commissioner reports.
I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
Of course, I did the June 3rd port workshop, June 9th port meeting, June 11th, the Oyster House meeting with the North Bay Historical Society. The June 26th workshop, June 30th workshop, and the July 7th of the North Bay Historical Society meeting as well.
Okay. All right, very good. Thanks for all that. Commissioner, Mike, you have, you're ready.
Let's see, I attended the EDC meeting on June 12th. Attended our last meeting. Now, a workshop meeting on. Yeah, we did, what's that, thank you. We did our last workshop.
Well, we can't.
Oh, the 30th, okay,
We moved it.
all right. I attended that, I was here on the 4th. We're, helping out with security for the fireworks,
Thanks for that.
that was
I think I
interesting.
need to sign something.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And,
So we-
I was at the EDC meeting on the 10th.
All right. Cool. All right, so for myself. The June 3rd, June 9th. The workshop and the regular meeting respectively, and then on the June 30th, the other workshop. I attended, and then the only other thing, and I wasn't able to make some of those that you're talking about, but I did my Mason Transit on the 17th, and as a chair there, I was get together with the director. Just as far as representing for Ballard, we're doing good there. Well, that's my report. Anything else to add to that? Old business. We're moving into port regular business and administrative improvements. Director, do you want to
Sure.
Do that correctly?
Any questions on the executive?
No,
Um,
we just got started.
Few minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, the security report really had some new bits and pieces.
Yeah,
June sixth, there was a high-speed chase out of the port. Which did not end well for the person who ran away. They were apprehended somewhere down the Great East Road. But they put stops on a ride.
right.
And then on July first, touch on the CC line that washed up on shore. Thank you to Commissioner Kirkman for being available on short notice, helping Jesse Nix, our administrative assistant, actually preserve the body so that Fish and Wildlife could get to it. They were dealing with a whale carcass somewhere near the ocean, so they didn't get here until late in the evening. But they showed up, took care of it. Really appreciated that.
Yeah. Okay,
But we could move on from the direct report to the old business, which kind of touches on direct support on the board priorities.
okay,
The questions from the commission on the four regular business administrative improvements. You all know that we've had some unfortunate turnover in our maintenance
yeah,
field. Don is still recovering at home. And we'll talk to him tomorrow. He called today and he's busy to call back. Been pretty fast and furious today, but Rob Schmidt, who took it over for Don, got injured here at the end of June.
I know.
And so I found somebody else that was available, Randy Orion, who is works for the Peninsula, or not Peninsula, but Pioneer School District as a facility maintenance manager. So he's actually off because of the school being out of session. So he's been taking care of a few hours a day in the mornings, which I've been trying to keep it light due to our budget constraints.
Yeah,
Trying to just concentrate on the necessities, but there will be some heavy necessities come Friday before calendar script.
okay,
So, one nice thing is that I've been able to have him take apart our pump out station. This has got a high degree of plumbing and mechanical, and was able to get the pump out station operating again. Except for it's not sucking. All the motors now working and everything. If you just dump it into the hole, they'll pump it all up to the station, the sucker hose is not operating. So we're gonna have the guy that installed it come down here
that'll bind
in a
it,
week and a half.
cleaned out.
Yeah, and have him diagnose it completely with him around so that you can see the process start. And both of our pump out facilities need addressing. So,
All right.
We'll move over to water system development. Updates on the water policy and student developer and extension contract. You'll see the action request in your packets for approving the water policy and the student development contracts that we discussed at the special meeting on the third.
Good.
Number 7.
We have plans to have that policy, it looks really good,
It does.
they're really extensive, wonderful.
There's a lot of detail to it.
I have no pushback, no concerns about the amendments here, so. Commissioner, up to you, if you want to bring up any discussion,
No,
No, I'm ready to,
got a long ways,
Yes, it's been a long road.
you know, and I don't want to slow down where we're at, or we can keep moving forward from there, so.
And if I could add,
Yeah, please.
it's really a living document.
Yeah,
Our water policy. It's something that will always come back to and say, hey, this maybe isn't working quite as well as intended. You can always go back and revisit some things, but this is a cleanup um,
Yeah.
of the way things weren't working.
um, Language, everything's right about from here moving forward, so. And council looked at the whole thing, so. There's a little bit of comfort in that, to say the least.
We will be getting the entire newly approved water policy on our website, so that any of the water policy users or anyone, developers and such, looking to build into the system will have all the information. So,
So we can take action on that, now,
yeah,
that's
that's the intent. of
Yeah.
the action item.
what we'd like to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind making a motion on that to
Yeah.
approve the, I think it's the,
On the second page of it, it's suggested motion, if you look at the word.
The resolution itself, right there.
Page
On the
2
back.
of the action.
we're gonna look
Yep,
at
right there, right there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, right
sorry,
here.
like the. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Port of Allen Resolution 2025-005. Resolution of the Port of Allen Commission adopting the 2025 amendments to the port's water policy manual and associated developer contract documents.
All right,
I will say.
all in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
And here it is. The action you're familiar with. And
I have to, thank you.
yeah, you find there, but you also indicate motion by and second. And then our commission signs page 3 of the resolution. Here.
So is there anything else in the water system that we need to address that just?
No, just adopting that.
Yeah.
If there's any questions about, any of the portions, I could mention that, we are hot on the heels of getting our DOH, submission bid documents nearly complete. I did expect to see them Friday. But, there's been a delay at our engineering firm, so, the emails will go out first thing tomorrow morning. Right now, where everything's off, because I already have a pre-scheduled water committee meeting Tuesday, the 22nd. To go over those bid documents to make sure that they align with the court's, desire to put everything together in the way we want it. Before we present those bid documents to commissions,
22nd of June.
the 22nd of June, 6
What
p.m.
time is that?
6 p.m. Is he at 2?
Take care of the problem.
One was, let's see.
And then, the month of June, every year for us, we'll have, 2 big DOH deadlines for the water system. Consumer confidence reports have to go out to everybody in the water system. And then the, water use efficiency submission, where we report all of our water usage and what was lost
Mhm,
for efficiency purposes.
Okay.
So that was all completed by the deadline.
right.
All right. So moving on from that, we wanna,
We don't really talk about peer reviewers.
peer report pairs. Waterfront peer repairs, you wanna speak to that directly?
Sure,
Please.
with, all the water system stuff going on this month, didn't really get a whole lot to work on that, but I did get a, new volunteer in the mix who's actually working on getting our complete, package together for the, permit at Mason County. Who has actually a lot of Mason County, building department experience.
Who's that?
Misha Bennett.
Wow, how did she come into the mix? There, Travis?
Stopped by the office one day and wanted to water the flowers.
Really?
Oh, well. Conversation continues to evolve and find out what people really do and what else the board do, and it turned into
It's pretty special.
working some of her previous skills where the board can use some.
So that's more work than 30 plays. Okay, all right, that's cool. Okay, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's where we're at with that portion of it. Float maintenance, I've contacted a couple of firms, but I still need to contact more when it comes to getting our float tub scrape of the growth. It's probably almost 3 years now.
Okay,
Right, it's starting to pull down the docks a little bit.
yeah,
So,
it's heavy.
Was that,
and
take
we,
that lower dock problem, or we need to replace it?
no, you mean the finger out here?
Finger.
No, that has. It's gonna allow it to raise up a little bit, but it's, that box.
Yeah.
That's it. And then I did speak to the pump out stations earlier, have more information, either at the next meeting, because AMO Construction is the one that installed it 13 years ago, and I got a hold of them. We're gonna talk on Monday about when they can come out. And then I will put him and Brandon together at the same time when he's working on it, so that we can get a stronger understanding internally of how to maintain it ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, because it's not a skill set that Don's ever had,
No,
so.
all right.
Covers the,
Oyster House relocation?
yeah, so, well, spent some time today, speaking with, AJ Gennaro Contracting, and he will be taking care of some of our work on the interior on a volunteer basis. So that's going to be helpful, but that's slow when they have time to come in and do a little bit of work here, a little bit of work there. But we came up with a materials list and,
I didn't realize that was volunteer. That's great. I mean, we'll
yeah,
take
that is.
material, but super, nice guy.
As long as that they can fit it into their schedule each month, they can come up with a number of hours. We can get them in there and together they have a budgeted amount every year for volunteer work. We just happen to line up with them now. So, and a lot of work has been done. The exterior is caulked and just a few things needing to be done. The door is now, the sliding door is now hung on that big 20-foot track. And where the doors are hung, we just need to get the hardware in there, and it's really close to being able to band. Which we've got a commitment from Darren Corliss on that.
Okay.
So,
Anything else?
no, on the Oyster House.
Okay.
Oh, there's some more electrical work that's going to be done in there. We're gonna get some outlets in. We already had the lights put in and roughed in, but gonna get some outlets put in before they come in through with the installation. So, there's a little bit more versatility when the rooms get set up as it used to. Or if the front gets used as a display or even a retail.
Aside from those few things, is there anything else that's significantly standing out for us to get done before we can move it?
There is getting the engineering done so that we can supply those drawings, 100% drawings to the Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay,
And then that solidifies all the remaining permissions.
okay.
Have you heard from Neon Consulting?
No, but I haven't reached out. I've been busy.
Yeah,
So,
you have,
yeah,
okay.
I haven't reached out. So,
Well, maybe I could do that.
yeah, that'd be great. You both.
Yeah. And I have to say, I have to thank Bonnie for jumping back in and getting stuff done.
Yes.
She's had money to, with this grant, she's had the money to get something going and make it a full staff. So,
Yeah, I heard that you got back in.
yeah, she's just been great.
Very helpful, sure.
And, you know, as soon as the wallboard and the insulation and all that gets wrapped up, the concrete can be explored. And we're really close to having a building that's ready for people once it's.
Yeah, great.
Okay. Is there anything else in moving on to both safety and security you want to
No,
add?
port safety and security, I kind of mentioned that, I kind of went out of sync there.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's, the extent of the fourth priorities.
So we survived the 4th of July.
Yes, but we did have a small incident, one of the garbage cans got fire.
Yeah,
So,
After we left,
yeah.
it was some smoldering thing, they sat next to the can and ended up
All it takes.
coming off, so. Fire department came in, cut a leak on the fence and, just put it out real fast with water, it didn't do anything else, anything like that. So, and it really didn't do any damage other than we lost our lid.
Mhm.
It melted the plastic housing lid,
Yeah.
tries to keep the rats out.
Okay. All right. So.
Other than that, no incidents of course.
Yeah,
Nice and calm.
so,
Great.
you found that yourself, the garbage can? How did that, come to your attention when
Well,
initially?
because I got a phone call
Okay,
at 12:30 at night that I missed.
Okay.
And then, came in and checked the messages here on the office line.
Yeah.
And they told me that,
okay,
all of that I just relayed to you. And then that Monday morning, I called them up and said, hey, give me a little more information.
right,
Sorry, I wasn't there to take the call. You did absolutely the right thing. Just destroy any of our stuff, put out fire.
yeah.
It's all get that.
It all went well considering all things. Okay, good. So, all right, so moving on from that, correct? Setting time and date for our next workshop. This is always fun. Moving target.
Yeah,
So. Yes, to just be set up as a special meeting, not a workshop this month.
Okay,
I have a lot of things that we've kind of culminated and finished with the water system. I'm gonna have a lot of paperwork to sift through as, developers start sending in, applications.
so needless to say too, give you as much time as you can on that, to build that meeting up to begin.
And we're having a special meeting for the water committee on the 22nd, like I said.
Mhm.
And I would like to try to schedule a meeting as early as Thursday, the 24th. For a special meeting, because that would give me enough time to send out the packets on what the,
I can't do a morning.
let's actually look to the next week.
I can do
I think the 24th is probably too. Everything done.
Of July,
Yeah,
Yes.
the week of the 28th.
Yeah, I think the 28th would be best.
I can do the 28th in the morning,
So can I?
and I can do the 30th, 31st.
man,
29th, I can do the mornings, but.
boy, I scheduled my MRI at 7:15 in the morning.
On that Monday,
Yeah,
28th. How about the 29th?
No, I can't do that one.
what day?
That's Tuesday, the 29th.
Oh, okay.
How about 30th?
30th?
Yeah, Wednesday, the 30th.
That works?
Yeah.
Okay, can we do that in the morning?
Sure.
9 o'clock?
Yeah, that'll work.
That work over there, Travis?
It certainly does.
Okay.
Meant it in.
Thank you for your patience. All right, so we got a date set for our special meeting. Move it, 9 AM. All right, so. You okay here? Moving
Yes.
along, all right, good, squawk, good,
Yep. Sparks now.
canoe journey.
So there's been a few changes, due to the timing, due to the tides, they're not cooperating and, we don't have the deepest, harbor out here.
Wow.
So they're gonna take the canoes out of Fair Harbor
Oh,
and put them on the trailer and then drive them here to the port.
okay. Do they have a
That'll
time?
be the land they stay, we're gonna set up this mini stage out at the end of the dock.
Oh.
And then there's a PA system out there. So
Okay.
it can be a
Presentation,
presentation on the water, over the water.
When is that?
21st. Monday,
Monday,
yeah.
the 21st. And then 11:30 would be a safe bet.
11:30.
Yeah,
I
11:30.
tried really hard to get a hold of, Mr. George.
Yeah, I've been able to get a hold of
You
him.
have?
Yeah,
Oh,
We've gone back and forth a few times.
well,
So
that's great, because I called a few times, but, okay, good.
All right,
yeah, and like, Jeremiah was telling me that, this kind of a standard practice when extraction isn't exactly like possible at the locations that the plan saw. So, this is, they do this fairly,
yeah,
movement.
Regularly.
Yeah, right.
are you gonna be there?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'll set
Do
up
we need to
a.
supply anything? I know ACA was gonna do
ACA
something,
taking
but,
care of my lunch and everything.
okay.
Yeah.
Water at least, I
Okay.
know that much. We'll
I
find out
guess-
tonight for sure.
Yeah, definitely need volunteers to help pack down that stage.
Okay,
I will ask officials.
yeah,
Okay,
Some younger.
young blood.
Yeah, so it's a long ways and it's a battle stick.
oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, does Bruce have any buddies?
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we.
Need some dollies,
Yeah,
that'd work.
The dollies
you know,
would be
or
awesome.
something to, some sort of wagon or something, wagons. That'd be the best, I mean, instead of hauling one
Yeah.
piece at a time. I don't know how many pieces that he's gonna take. If he's gonna do a small stage, it might be 4 pieces. Did he say 8 by 8?
yeah. You're right.
Okay. All right, anything else on that? Okay, so the, hotbed Mason County sewer extension.
So I provided the letter that was passed. by
Yeah.
the County Commissioners. I did get a signed copy here today via email. Looks like it's continued discussion and, I'll let the commission weigh in on that.
Yeah, I'd like to. Well, first of all, I concur with some of the thoughts of, Commissioner Netherland for sure, I share the same sentiments in the terms of that's not something you just jump into. It's on our county line, it's our county responsibility, you just hand something over, it's, such a, actually a very special resource that's designed for our county. But even that being said, if it was to be a shared proposition, there are some bullets here that I'd like to bring up, and that is, I mean, there, even before anything would be considered, to be a full cost benefit traffic impact analysis. Some things here, and there's a few, but I'll just speak to the obvious ones. And then how do you protect the tax base here, with all the businesses in North Mason? It's a big deal. Not just for the county's revenue, but also for the businesses themselves. Obviously, there's a win-win if it's not protected proper. And then the zoning restrictions, this protect our stakeholders. That's everybody concerned. And then we don't know how the North Mason overall feels, like local input. We don't have that. So there's a lot of things to just not just jump into and just take for granted without understanding. I mean, we can barely get in and out of town the way it is, but I don't, and people, are in traffic longer than they want to be, and they're spending less time. Finally get in town, they're just ready to go home rather than shop and do the last minute thing they want to do, let alone add that, multiply that times 100. Anyway, there's all that. The biggest thing is the tax revenue that's behind this.
We invited Randy to.
Yeah, exactly. And we did not do a public comment, if there wasn't anybody here to do a public comment. In a little bit, I want to open that up.
I would agree.
Yeah, then we can open it up
So
for
now
public
that-
comments. If we have somebody here that may want to speak to that matter directly, or
Totally
indirectly.
agree, yeah.
But on that note, yeah, so there's a lot of concerns here, that I would be, I would support the pushback on it from the county commissioners. And hopefully they would do this and take a big pause and timeout. And that's where I'm leaning towards. So I would say no access before ever consider negotiating anything without a full impact study done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that. You well said,
Yeah.
because, and I looked at the MOU that was previously signed or, looked at in 23, and there's nothing to protect us.
Yeah, no,
It's all just a customer base and, like what a few people have said is that it's to enhance their side of your development. So,
yeah, I'm not even seeing any protections actually in
Yeah.
place yet, let alone talking about whether we support it or not. I mean, obviously, we support economic development, but with a big cautionary, journey through that.
agreed.
Yeah,
Either, one of the things that was, I was reading through this, that, one, I guess within 9 years, they may do their own septic system. Well, where does that leave us then? We're not even gonna be getting the benefits of the, of our septic system getting the benefits of them. That's totally that doesn't make sense to me.
well, and that's, so our initial, crossing the intersection issue with this, and you were talking about it, the commissioners are the only stopping point timeout, because we don't, obviously, we're not incorporated in Belfair.
Right.
To protect the North Basin area, it's the commission, it's our county. So, that's all I got to say about that.
So we recommend, at least the recommendation of the county commissioners to put a long pause on this.
Put a pause on it until we get
Don't
those,
stop them.
a full analysis, full cost benefit, traffic, from traffic to actual tax-based revenue and what that would look like before, yeah, I'd say a big timeout, big pause on that until, a bigger study and more input from the community. We represent about 9,000 here. and-
Right.
And, there's actually a far bigger number that impacted by this, and I'd like to hear from just about everybody. Or anybody, whatever that looks like, I'd like to have people come and talk to us in this matter, whether it be the voice, in town. And I mean, I'd like to hear from David Oates and come in and tell us what he thinks about this.
Sure.
I invite everybody, Mr. Griffey, come in, bring this discussion to where it needs to be, good, bad, and ugly, have it all out there on the table. And thank you for coming, by the way, today. Netherland, Commissioner Netherland. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, again, looking at some of the MOUs that they have presented, there's nothing to protect us,
Yeah, no,
nothing. So,
It's all for them and for.
well, it's about working together, but that's just it. Working together means doing the things that we need to do as a county to protect what we're here to do, to protect our tax base.
Right.
Or, there's a lot of tax
our
dollars.
potential growth,
Oh, yeah,
because that's key,
Right.
I'm hoping that we can make, I don't know if we can make incentives or not for developments to come in. I know that there's some hurdles, not just for developers, but even buying land that's key up there. But, we have what we need. We have water, we have the sewer.
right.
I just need the land available and.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not interested in stopping any development that should happen. I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing and protecting our tax base here.
I'd like to see the development be in Mason County, not Kitsap County. And not that I'm against Kitsap County, but we're supposed to be about our economic development,
Well,
not sacrificing our tax base or our people for the benefit of Burlington.
Growth is good. It's done properly.
And
On
it
both
needs-
sides of the line.
And there needs to be, some boundary sets and things that guarantees where since we're the ones that have the asset that they need, we should be the ones that get the most out of it. We should be the ones getting more out of it, not doing all the risk without any of the benefits.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't see that.
No, we pay dearly for it.
Yeah. Well, and then moving forward, if it ends up working out where there is an agreement to be made, it has to be such that it's in the best interest of Mason County. Or,
Yeah,
and, where it's a win-win, not just one way. That's it. And right now, there's no win-win without all the study being done and how to go about that here forward. Until I hear a path forward benefiting North Mason, Mason County, I'm saying timeout on that big time.
Yep.
So,
You want to give Randy a chance?
yeah, we're gonna do a public comment, and if you want to utilize that time, you can. So we had a public comment at the beginning, and it's our up to the commission if we extend that to a second public comment. There was nobody here in the beginning, but we'll get there here shortly.
Since we're
We're
discussing.
gonna do, when we get to good order, we'll do a public comment.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine.
Okay, then I was gonna say, a lot of times, like, you know, he's the resident expert on this subject.
And we're gonna go there, so, yeah, are good, okay? Okay, any further discussion on that? Travis, did you have any input on that? City Executive Director? Okay.
Commissioner Yule.
All right, thank you. So we got no new items. Again, we'll extend a public comment towards the end of this when we get to the good order. We have that right to do so, and we will, and we'll exercise it. So how about financial position reports?
Yep, if there's no new items, move to the financial report.
No?
So, Erin always provides a financial position report, but she's not here. I will discuss things.
Right.
Our general fund is, and year end projected to be over budget by, according to her stats, 200,000. Which, I'm gonna have to relook at, that seems extremely high.
So then again,
Wow,
203,000.
That we're gonna spend more than we got? Or-
Projected to be over.
Okay,
Uh,
so we're gonna make 200,000.
On our, yeah, on our, end of year, our revenues.
there's a mistake.
Oh,
Yeah,
revenues.
yeah, I think,
Okay.
yeah.
That'd be nice, but you know,
Oh, okay. Is,
Yeah, she's showing revenues projected to be 24% over budget.
Is that
Expenses
due to
are
timber?
13%.
is that due to the timber?
Yeah, the timber is a big part. I think that money is definitely the, on track approach to, we collected, 61,000
Okay,
since the beginning of the year.
so we don't have the report in front of us, right? We have the report, but we don't have the summary,
This is the summary right here, as I'm going.
and that's fine. Go ahead.
And, the thing is that the DR revenue will most likely cease until maybe October or November. Because they're not gonna be cutting much during elections,
No,
if at all. In fact, this month there was only 1,000 in DNR.
okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, and then she basically says, that, you know, the main cause is due to the revenue side, is the increase in the DNR revenue from Mason County, as well as the beginning general fund balance being high. The remainder of the general fund revenues are not impacting the budget versus projection. In other words, there is no indication the operating revenues are increasing.
Yeah.
Property taxes collections are within 6% of budget collections.
And I'd like to do everything we can to roll those reserves into the new fiscal year. I know that we're using some of it right now because we've had a little hiccup with,
Right.
Dawn.
And that's the intent on looking at what extra revenues from that extra windfall in DNR money towards the end of the year that we can invest into our invested balance to have for, you know, capital facilities.
Yes.
Improvements.
Very
down
good.
the way. So, and part of that was taken care of in the consent agenda with that little bit of money being paid back to the IBD fund from my investigations previously.
Okay.
So, which was about 14,000. I was being very conservative and just taking care of the IDD money that I investigated needed to go back.
Okay.
Versus the other expenditures that were proper expenditures, but we would like to put that back into the invested balance because that was capital money that we traditionally paid back in the past.
So I was good to identify with that target. Then that's an appropriate redirect of the money, and then whatever more we can do down the road. We also need to have those funds available, not tied back up there in its entirety. Okay,
And of course, the water fund has gotten a bit crazy with all of our, legal expenses.
Yeah.
And, we see those slowing down. In fact, this month was, half what it was 2 months ago.
Great.
So,
Are we caught up with our council fees for this?
yeah, we paid about 5,000.
Okay.
Legal expenses, but most of that was in the water fund. Partly, we integrate our water policy, getting our documents together.
Okay.
That's what all those expenses were.
Okay.
Well, not all of them, some of them were covered.
A lot of, right.
But, with these documents approved, as you always have, there's going to be an influx in development fees coming into the water system. And, that's, great news for the, building, apparatus in Allen. We want to see more houses put up.
Yeah.
Of course, conservatively within the UGA, so that we don't grow too big.
Right, that's what's just really, now that's a good problem, we have a lot of interest up there. Correct, there's a lot of interested people that want to develop, now just moving forward, gonna be very calculated about that. Do it correctly, without getting ahead of ourselves.
So, and that's, the gist of, the report.
Do you need a motion?
Information, commission, and public.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. You need a motion though for the second part of it, where we will pay our vouchers and bills.
Right,
Okay, I will do that. I move to approve the payment for the Port of Allen General Fund vouchers 250-70014 to 250-70040 at $8,012.27. And the payroll vouchers 250-70001 and to 250-70013 at the sum of $20,966.56. And the water fund vouchers 250-70041 to 250-70045 of $5,935.81.
I'll second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Sign need quick and then move to the floor. For the order, which good order was designed for the commission, but we're gonna send that to having the public comment. To include that, we'll hear in a few minutes, if anybody wants to get up and speak to any matter.
When is the ACA meeting?
Board meetings at 5:30 and then the regular meeting for everybody, we can go to the board meeting. At 6.
Okay.
So, with the order, commissioners, did you have anything? You want to public comment?
No, wait to hear everybody.
So we're gonna go ahead and open it up for public comment, as we get towards the end of our. You want to speak?
Do I only get one question?
No, you got 3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes, so.
3 minutes, but who's counting anyway? Okay,
Happy forever, I'm like,
okay.
and my mother and Ruth Nelson here, and those deceased, but they are the ones who design and planned this. And that's why we are here, we are back again, trying to put it back the way that they envisioned.
Okay.
It was supposed to be like a floral garden with sculptured boxwoods and rhododendrons and, The topiary is a giraffe, just in case anybody wondered what it was for a while. Wild hair. Anyway, so. We are going to, we're volunteers.
Okay.
And we are going to, we've talked to Tracy, he's been very cooperative and wonderful. with us.
Awesome.
We are going to need some good soil. We will eventually need some good mulch to bring this back.
Okay.
Because the idea is when you're charging for a wedding here, for a beautiful setting, we want to have it be a place of pride.
Yeah.
And also in our historical church and the ACA, and we're talking about doing combinations with community with our historical church, our historical oyster house,
Okay.
and our lovely park, that we can be a community here to attract visitors.
That's great.
So we kind of threw that around today, because Maureen is also with the historical society. So anyway, so a number of things, as we've worked around the park, we have noticed, and I brought this to Michael and Travis's attention. There's not a gate up here in this north west corner. We have been here long enough to watch children play up here, and they do play hide and seek up here.
Okay.
And somebody reopened that gate.
Again?
It's not a gate, it's fencing. Yeah. And they've peeled it away. We just somebody put wire there, and we walked back up there inspecting the azaleas. And someone has opened that back up again. Now, if there is an emergency, I would imagine that the aid cars would come down into the parking lot and not up here in the road, so we need to address that.
Okay.
It's been heavily traveled. It's not, whoever's traveling it, we don't know, including deer. And then we also have watched, and I remember there was a fence along here. Here, and for whatever reason, it disappeared.
Got old.
It got old, because we have also watched children run out of the playground there and run into this parking lot.
Yeah, that's.
So, and I know we need to have a gate or something there, so we can bring the truck in to put up the stages and the tents. I understand that completely, but we do need to do something. It doesn't have to be an 8-foot fence. I mean, to me, it needs to be something that
Sure.
protects our children
Yeah.
from climbing or from running, and the little toddlers that are very fast. And then for whatever reason, they're trapped into the parking lot. So we need to think about that. We don't need children being harmed, and we don't need lawsuits. So, I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
And, guess so. I don't know if you guys do anything about the one spring that's been plugged up there at Allenview, and there's a spring that, I had a lady call me and say, hey, they're plugging up a spring that's up there in the hill. And I don't know, do you address that, or is that somewhere else?
Yeah.
I know it's property.
Okay, well, I don't know, was that, we'll get with the lady that brought it to my attention.
Have her call me, and
Okay,
assist her in, finding out whose property it is and who needs to address it.
okay,
That would be the-
because I have a list. That's why I brought you to present to
Well,
me.
Can you clarify what you mean by plugging up the spring?
Well, right up there, we filled it in, so the water was bubbling out of the ground, and
Oh, okay, gotcha.
it's gonna bubble up somewhere.
That's right.
We got
Good water and you're pumping water up from here when there's already a spring up there.
Yeah. And we have kind of spring running.
We do have springs that are here, from a while out of town, or very shelters. Anyway, that's all I have to say, so thank you.
Patsy, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Lifetime resident, when he came back.
Oh, no, thank you for.
Thank
You got our.
She's been doing great work.
Yeah.
He's made a big difference.
Yeah, the 5A commission, there is, the port has the money to buy the materials, but she's has, we just have to get volunteers to put it all together.
So which is what we're talking about here, yeah.
So,
Those are the
we
matter
can,
of-
we can put together. And get bids on what it's cost to acquire those materials. I'll work with Patsy to, know how much mulch and how much material, and, hopefully we may not be able to.
That
build-
swale
build
over
it,
there.
but,
You do.
That's it.
There are,
Doesn't pick it up.
there are people that
That needs about 10 yards.
trucks or dump trailers
Oh, okay.
do the best. So coordinate and work with that.
You can estimate what do you think we're looking at I think so. Yeah, all right. The fence idea is something we gotta look into that.
It used to be there.
Yeah, you know, it's funny.
It got old, I mean, it fell apart, it got old, that's why I got taken down. Or both.
Oh. Cool.
Now,
Yeah.
the gate thing up there, that's a
That's
simple fix.
simple, that's $160, we buy it.
Yeah,
We buy
well,
a gate that goes in there, and I've already talked to the fire department about, the direction to me where I can buy fire locks where they have meters.
Okay,
So EMS would have the key, fire department that key, police department that key, but it can stay locked.
okay, well, you're all over. That's cool. Good idea. All right. That's the way to go.
that's good.
All right. So. Anybody else? Do you want to speak to the matter, please? Yeah. Thank you, Fred.
Just for a second on the sewer, you guys are thinking, what's going on there?
Yeah.
But I have to look stuff, just sitting there with the sheriff. But one of the simplest parts that we have to consider, and I always keep myself out of position, as a person who lives here and has to deal with the impacts of, what is it? You've got 22 to 25,000 vehicles coming down here. Currently, right now, the sewer is up here, Belfair, it's not even on the highway, it's down over here from the private, property, which you disagree with that, I thought that it's there right now, so $5 million is private property, and it's not under a highway. If they connect it to Bremerton, they're gonna take it to the highway, where we have nothing, and they'll go this way with it. The problem with Bremerton is we create our own competition. There's no way around it, currently, right now, there's no sewer, so that limits on what they can do. As soon as we put sewer there, their limitations change overnight. One problem, of course, we're not gonna be talking about on what's gonna happen, how the access is, with transportation, or any of those issues. The second problem is, everything they put here means that something that's not gonna come here. Even if it's jobs or whatever, you put jobs here, it could have been right there, but they can compete differently being a city compared to a county. It's just the way it is. Some people will try to say that it's not for retail, because it's set up right now for industrial. Sounds good, except for you got 25,000 vehicles coming through here a day, city can change one they want. And if it was all about industrial, they already have 16 to 19 pads at the port, they already have water, sewer, and everything had. So it's not like they don't already have that. Why would they need it in our order? And again, though, if they did, how do we benefit from it? If they currently hook up on our system, we suffered, we lost businesses. Individuals took on loans of $15,000 a worth of pipe onto their properties. We were devastated over it. Bremerton never gave us anything for it. So to let them in without them at least purchasing the full share. Currently, we use about 70,000 gallons for all of Belford that's hooked up to the curb. They're asking for 160,000 gallons. Okay, so they're more than asking more than twice. They're not offering to put up the money that we pay for the sewer system. They're not even, in one of the meetings I had, asking for even $20 million, which is nothing for it. It takes them 85 to 127 million to build it. That was from 10 years ago. So with that being said, let's say they don't get a big box store like a McLean, like a Mitchell or a Home Depot. If you got a Home Depot, you kill Mitchell, kill McLean. They give us all of our tax money here. Belfair is the breadbasket of Mason County for sales tax. We haven't raised our taxes here in years. We only collect a general on about $10 million in property tax. In sales tax in the county, we collect about 10 million. There is no limit of what we can spend it on. So we can spend it on law enforcement and stuff like that, because we're not restricted. But you start digging into that sales tax by digging into Belfair, you're gonna dig in for the whole county. Remember, all of them together is a good Belfair. Sheldon keeps them in our city. So their sales tax stays there. When you put Milchie, you put Pittsburgh, you put Potlatch, you put all them together, it's still close to what Belfair brings in all by itself. During COVID, Belfair helped keep Mason County alive. What I mean by that is Mitchell or Clinton, just to give you an example, we used to bring in 1.5, 1.7 truckloads a week. During COVID, when everybody was on lockdown, they brought in 17 truckloads a week, all of which were sales tax. And that helped us, this county, and helped it. Well, so the first thing we have to do is we have to take care of the people that are already here, the ones we represent. I'm a Mason County commissioner. I represent basic heavy businesses. I would never want, if I was representing Ford, I wouldn't want to give my workforce to Chevrolet and things that we're just gonna all work together just fine. Anything they get, we don't. It's that simple. They did create jobs, yeah, we make that a few residents here, why would we create jobs all the time? So there's a hundred different things, but one of the main things, I just watched the meeting for the Port of Bremerton. They're talking to Port of Bremerton about how to hook up certain places up above. You know, the first thing that Port of Bremerton told them? We gotta do a feasibility study, we gotta find out what it costs, how much it costs, what we impact. All the things that I didn't ask. When we did the $5 million extension to a private property owner, I kept begging, please, at least get it tested. If it's an investment, what is the return on investment? Why would you spend that kind of money, and especially when we're getting so close to get it paid off? That system now is functional and is not owing further debt. It's actually expected to be paid off by 2027. We've come that far. It was a federal one, we were so close. But we're not like that anymore. We're doing great. But the more weight we put on here, the less chances of success. Even let's say some small, one restaurant. Being the first one coming into welfare, how many people you think are gonna get that restaurant where you want it in welfare? That's one of the reasons why you want to do it, 25,000 cars, the very first one coming into town, and it will need to be a welfare, but it'll be our store. So with that being said, it's an important aspect to be aware of, but if the Port of Bremerton, who see tax cut by that, if they got it, that part of their district, they could receive those, even they said, that's a piece of those, or property investment. But one store, one gas station, one anything, movement brings movement, and it all goes right there. There's a trailer up there that IFS comes in, that we pretty involved is at that. And we watch that happen in Shelton, when they kind of keep their money together. When Shelton put in their Walmart, they killed downtown Shelton, and they're still trying to survive today. Yeah. Okay, that's all these years later, but at the same time, why would we do that ourselves on purpose? When we don't have. More good as a team, as a family, but what's the benefit to the family? So with that, I have to make sure that we do it, if we do anything, we do it right. We shouldn't even be complicated without a full study to find out what the benefit is, what the cost is, what the cost is for losing those business. There should be restrictions on what they could build there, but that's not that they said they're not interested.
Well, thank you.
I have a question. Why can't we put some of those things in that built on our side?
Well, that's the thing, we could, if they're, I mean, they're gonna look at the demographics. If there's no sewer there, they have to go on our side.
Right.
There's just no other way around that, if it's nothing, because there's no sewer up there.
Yeah.
Sewer is a very important and necessary thing for these big box stores and stuff like this.
All right.
If I can, I got something for you guys, so I wanna thank. I'm sitting here and we went through a little bit of hell a while back here.
Yeah.
That is for. We did. You remember when we sat down with budgets? We budgeted with a manner to do exactly what you're telling us happening right now. Yes. The idea of we staggered, where we went below what we thought. So that we could just kind of hide money a little bit, not overspend it by being very, very conservative on how we said those would come in. If we said that we found it was in the past, we did 25,000 come in, we started talking about budget 8.
Right.
With the hope that we do this exact same thing. And Rob, I know that you decided not to run again. I want to tell you, I got a chance to tell you before, I want to say it right here. You were here at the right time for the right reason. And you were supposed to be here when all this stuff happened. So don't forget that. That's an absolute, that's not an accident. Accident.
Thank you.
Mine occurred, stepped in, you stepped in with a beginning, but your honor and your integrity. Fighting you, that really helps everyone.
Yeah.
Be able to do well. Travis. And right around with your hair on fire. Order today. Look how they're looking at a situation now, where you're telling them they're gonna have surplus at the end of the year from a position where you were. You're ready to collapse. And you know that, you know that. And Judy Scott. I've served with a lot of people in my life, you already know a lot of them. You're the finance editor. We're the finance commissioner, I got a chance to sit here for 6 years. her. But aside from that, I've been around a lot of different things. I've never run both finders, never. And we're all blessed because of you. And you being here, you were meant to be here, it's so hard to be here. So anyways, that's us, you know, you're blessed to basically, you're blessed. To all of them. And please take a moment after this meeting, pat yourself on the back and realize you were not in this position just a little while ago. Not even close. I don't think the community knew how close we were to closing the course. And that's how far it was. We sat there, we talked about it, it was, the dangers were all there. They couldn't find the books for any of this stuff. They had to recreate every aspect of it. Can you imagine? How about being unhonorable if you don't have any of it?
Yeah.
Find out where it was spent, and then there was things that were spent places that they shouldn't have because they were borrowed from Peter to pay Paul, but eventually it's like credit cards. It all collapses until you do the right thing. Yeah. So I just want to tell you guys something.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you very much. All right,
We don't get to hear that very much.
good job.
And thank you to Jack, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
well, you helped us a lot too, Randy, I have to say. You stepped in when nobody else really needed to.
Yeah,
Thank you.
big thing.
Jeff intended on being released. Just didn't wasn't.
Tell them I called him something bad.
Incredible. All right. Good one. There's Phil on there.
Hey, I can.
You want to speak, Phil?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Please.
Hey, to let you know, I mean, you're probably aware, I know Commissioner Leather is aware, but DNR put a pause on all timber sales.
Oh, good night.
So I don't know if I mean, I didn't hear all your conversation regarding that, but that's one reason why you're not getting as much income from DNR as they paused all sales. Until, I don't know if it's 6 months, I don't know if it's a year. Anyway, there was a set period of time they paused the sales, and then they're gonna sell them again after further review. But that was a campaign promise, by Updegrove, the new lands commissioner. So you should let DNR know how it's affecting the port. And it affects the county, it affects the library, it affects the fire department, it affects all our junior taxing districts, it affects the lumber mill in Shelton, which gets 80% of its timber from DNR. So so it's all down the line. And then and thanks, Commissioner Nevlin, and you guys are speaking up about the sewer extension of Kitsap. And at that meeting, the only thing that one of the other commissioners, besides Randy Netherland, said, or asked questions about, is one of them said, well, we get most of our sales tax from Amazon these days. And then I talked to another commissioner again that kind of reiterated that point about Amazon and our sales tax. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but I do not buy absolutely everything from Amazon. And there's times I go to a retail establishment to actually shop, to compare things, to ask for advice. I mean, I bought my lumber for my new deck, from Mitchell's. One is I wanted the sales tax to stay in Mason County. I didn't want it to go to Kitsap County. And number two, I just want to be, buy it from a local source. So I had somebody I can trust and I could talk to. I mean, that's something we're going to lose. I mean, Mitchell's will go away. Scott McClendon's will simply go away if there's a Home Depot up there. And there's also a value to having a job. And this is going to be more and more important as time goes on with artificial intelligence and other things. There's a value of people working in the town that they live. And, I think that'll be lost. I mean, QFC, I don't know what's going to happen to the QFC in Belfair, but I mean, that could eventually go away. right? So with the merger, with the different, because we didn't allow QFC to merge with Fred Meyer, whatever it was. But, you know, that's points I'd like to make. And I think it'd be, you know, I mean, I'd have to leave it to Commissioner Netherland, but I think it'd be a little bit different story if they would have asked for this extension like at the beginning or when the sewer system was not in good financial health. I think it'd be a little different conversation. But now we hold the cards. They don't hold the cards. We hold the cards. And in that meeting, you know, I mean, Commissioner Netherland asked, well, could you do a special zoning up there so you can have retail? And it was just, it wasn't even a conversation. It was a flat out no. They didn't bring anything. They did not offer to negotiate on anything. So, you know, yeah. So anyway, that's my thought on it. Thanks for the opportunity to comment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay.
All right, thanks, sir. We should do a letter, stating our position on this. It's like, we're not opposed to something down the road, but we're kind of referring to the language we use today, taking a pause on it.
I do plan to take commissioner comments. but I've done
Yeah,
Great.
Two letters.
the language I used was pretty much what,
Be created for the comments.
okay,
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
all right, then we'll look at that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure we're all on the same sheet. It's an important letter. All right. Anything else?
Um,
Okay, we are adjourned.
Ready to go home.